start
All right,
with
I'll
the
check it. We're
power.
about to go live. We're about to go live. We're about to go live.
Okay.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to our Wednesday live stream. We are going to go over some college basketball games, some NHL action, NBA coming back tomorrow, coming back from the All-Star break. Not going to get into too much NBA this week. A lot of hockey on the slate tonight. We have, I think, there was 6 games when I was looking, couple that we pulled to take a look at. College basketball, it's a Wednesday. There's a whole slate of games. Nothing that really caught my eye too much, Mackie. I don't know about you, but me, Ace, and Mackie here this week. I'll hand things off over to the boys real quick. We'll kind of get some introductions in, then we'll get into the games. But Mackie, we'll start off with you this week. How are we doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Got a nice college basketball slate tonight. Had a rough night last night. Lost 2-unit play, but we're still up over 22 units in the season, so I'm still rolling there. But yeah, some NHL action tonight. Not much else going on. Ace, what's going on?
Yeah, like you said, some good Wednesday night games. Usually get the rivalry games on TNT and the NHL. You guys have been hot all year in college basketball, so I'm always eager to tail those picks. I know the 2-unit missed last night, but that's a rare occasion. We've been kind of heating up on the NHL card, like our personal ones at least. We got to get some more plays out there. Now that we're past the Super Bowl season, that we're really locking in on the NHL, NBA, along with NCAA basketball. So we're going to get that card up pretty high. Other than that, I think I just want to cover a few things quick here in the NHL. Look at tonight's slate and get rolling, boys.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll start things out, Mackie. We'll kind of dive into some college basketball to start. 3 quick games we go over, and then we'll dive into some NHL where it's going to be a little bit more of a conversation. College basketball tonight, we do have a couple of ranked teams on the road. The 2 games that I pulled: number 12 Illinois is heading to Happy Valley to take on the Penn State Nittany Lions at 6:30, coming up here in about an hour. I don't have the spread pulled up on this one. I'll get it, but the other games that we're going to look at: Duke at Miami, Nebraska at Indiana. But so you said a 7.5-point spread either way. You've been big on Illinois these past couple of weeks. Is this a spot that you're staying away from a 7.5-point road favorite here, or do you think Penn State has a chance to cover here?
Huff, this game screams at us because I don't know. Illinois has been playing well. Penn State has been underwhelming,
I've been
but I don't like
at Penn State.
The 7.5 is too much. I think Penn State can find a cover at home. Illinois doesn't play the best on the road. Their offense kind of runs through Coleman Hawkins. He's a big man, but he can do basically everything. And on the road, he kind of finds he finds it hard to get going. So I think that Penn State gets out to an early lead. Maybe the first half spread, I'd like them, but it's too high of a spread for me to touch.
Yeah, I saw this morning whenever I woke up, I saw 8. Now we're down to 7.5. So it's definitely moving in the direction of Penn State. But I don't know. The 7.5 is tempting. I was looking at Penn State, a pretty good team at home. I think who was it that just went there a couple of weeks ago and lost as a 6-point favorite? Was it Iowa?
Penn State gets some weird wins. Like they beat they beat Iowa at home, but they should win games like that. Like they went into Rutgers. I guess they should have beat Rutgers, but they beat them by 15 on the road. They beat Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could play good basketball on their home floor. So I think that they can play Illinois tight and probably cover a spread here. But I didn't like it enough to make it a play.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was looking at it too. If it was 8.5, I'd probably like it a little more, obviously. But 7.5, I feel like Illinois could cover this game, and I wouldn't be surprised. But like we said, the opponents that have gone into Happy Valley and lost games, I don't like their chances tonight to cover an 8-point spread. The other games that we have: number 8 Duke headed to Miami. Miami is 6.5-point home dog, plus 225 on the money line. Duke minus 280, over under at 148.5. This is one where I did lean on the road favorite. I do like Duke to come out on top here. 6.5 points. They've handled spreads like this all season. The number 8 team in the nation. Obviously, a lot of people are going to be looking at that, kind of blindly taking Duke in this. That's what you got to look out for in college sports. But Miami hasn't done too much to impress me, at least even on their home court this year. 6.5-point dogs. I think they could cut. Would it surprise me if they cover this game? No, but I definitely lean on Duke with the 6.5 points.
I actually do really like Duke in this matchup. You know, Duke's been playing really good basketball. They've won 4 straight ever since that North Carolina loss. I kind of strapped in, and they've won 4 straight. Miami kind of, on the other hand, just going in the opposite direction. They've lost 4 straight, haven't been playing good basketball. They've lost 2 out of the 4 of those games have been on their home floor. Duke's playing good basketball. I think they have a lot of confidence right now. I think they should cover the 6.5 points, to be honest. I haven't actually wagered it myself, but I think that's a good play. I think that's a winner.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I lean on that same side. I was looking at it all day. It hasn't moved. I was trying to see if it was going to go to
I saw 5.5.
7.5 to a third. Okay, so it is dropping to
It
6.5 then.
it opened at 5.5. It's definitely moving in Duke's favor. But I saw a lot of money coming in.
Okay.
Or not a lot of money, but a good amount of money coming in on Duke as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. The last game we were going to go into another Big Ten matchup. Two teams that we've kind of taken a lot in the past couple of weeks, especially Nebraska. Nebraska heading to Indiana. Indiana now a 1.5-point favorite, minus 130 on the money line on FanDuel. I did see you could shop that around. I got that on MGM. I think at minus 120 a little bit ago. So. And then the over-under, same thing at 148.5. I know we're both this is probably a card play. We're both on Indiana, locked it a little bit earlier, so we're not going to be taking that minus 130 juice. It's a little tough to go that deep on a money line, but I do still lean Indiana. They'll get the win at home. It's one of the places to play in the Big Ten. Indiana, no matter what kind of team they have, it seems like they always put up a fight on their home floor. I like Indiana to come out on top tonight in a close spread. Just take the money line, even though it's a little bit steeper right now at the 1.5.
Yeah, hard place to play, and Nebraska's 1-7 on the road this season. So, I don't think Nebraska.
Who's their win?
I don't even know. Let me check it. Find that out
That's
real quick.
Wisconsin? No, that was a home game.
No, they lost to Rutgers.
It
was I think it was out of conference. Yeah, it was Kansas State they beat on the road.
Okay,
but
Kansas State's terrible this year.
Yeah, they're having a rough year as well. But
yeah,
I think Indiana. The line's moving in Indiana's favor as well. I saw it last night. Nebraska was minus 1.5. Now Indiana is minus 1.5. I see -2 in some places as well. So, I think Indiana should definitely come out on top in this game, and it's probably going to be on a card as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Make sure you're staying tuned. We'll get all our official plays out by probably 6:30 once we get wrapped up on the stream. We'll get everything official out there. So make sure you're staying tuned with what we go with. Looking like we'll have at least 1 or 2 plays going tonight in the world of college basketball. Like I said, a pretty good slate. Dove into 3 games. We're gonna jump over into the NHL. Where we're going to go over kind of the standings, our power rankings, all the leaders and all the stats, and then get into a couple of games tonight. To make it official, I said 6 games earlier. There's 5 games on the slate tonight. Pulled 3 of them to go through a couple of pretty decent matchup. Ace, your Bruins going to Edmonton tonight for a late night matchup on TNT. We'll get into that one in a little bit as well, but we'll start out with our power rankings for this week. Let's start with number 5. We had the Colorado Avalanche. Number 4, Boston Bruins. Number 3, Mackey's New York Rangers sliding back into the top 5. Number 2, the Florida Panthers, and number 1, the Vancouver Canucks continue to stay on that pace that they kind of put themselves on the beginning of the year. All of us were saying, are they going to keep up with this? Are they going to keep up with this? They sent basically the whole team to the All-Star game. They've kept it up out the break. They had a tough loss last night in Colorado, so that number 5 team that we have on our list getting a win at home. I did not end up taking that. They were the minus 140 on the money line. I did like it, but a little steep for my liking on a price. Both your teams are in this. Ace, we'll start with you. We'll bring you back into the conversation. Where do you think about your Bruins as the past couple of weeks? Is there a chance you see them jumping Mackey's Rangers? What are we thinking here?
Yeah, not too worried about that 3-4 spot between the Rangers and the Bruins. I mean, we got a solid list here with the Nucks, the Panthers, Rangers, Bruins, and the Avs. I mean, how can you miss with those teams? Panthers have been flying to take over that Atlantic division from the Bruins. Bruins right behind them, still putting up points at a good clip. Much needed shootout win the other night. Swayman was playing on fire. Mackey's Rangers been hot out of the break, though. I think we've been talking about that pretty much. Canucks staying hot as well. And then the Avs, we know they're the best team in the West and really maybe the team to beat in the league, regardless of the points. So I like the list there. I think my Bruins have got to get a little bit healthy. Excited for this trade deadline coming up on March 8th. That's going to be massive there. But I like these rankings. Definitely listen to the pod. We'll get into that a little bit more. But some good games on the slate too. Mackie, let me know what you think about these rankings before we jump into them.
Yeah, obviously the Rangers coming out of the All-Star break with 8-0 since the All-Star break. Playing really good hockey. Shesterkin last night, 41 save, 1 goal game, one goal win. So having both goalies playing like that is just obviously Ace. You guys saw it all last year with Olmark and Swayman. How well that complements a team having 2 goalies that you can trust. But yeah, I mean, obviously these teams, not Avalanche, Panthers have won 9 in a row too, I think. So they're flying. Canucks, you got to respect them at the top.
Streaky team.
Honestly, all 5 of these teams you can put anywhere in these rankings, and you can make an argument for it. But yeah, these teams are definitely, there's no really weak spots in any of these teams right now.
Yeah, agreed. And I think it's only going to heat up even more. I mean, the second half of the season, I said it on the podcast before, like Brad Marchand said, though, these are the games that really start to matter now. And you're seeing some teams slip out of it, really the bottom dwellers and the top end teams heating up. I think the Atlantic is a lot better than the Eastern as a whole. I mean, is a lot better than the West. So maybe we get some good action out there in the West, too. That bubble's kind of dim with talent. But, I mean, maybe we can jump into these games tonight here, Huff. I know you said my Bruins are the late game here, but I think you got two more ahead of that.
Yeah, we're gonna start out with the reason I pulled the first game, a little bit more of an even matchup, not as steep as the. I was gonna do the Flyers and Blackhawks. Flyers are a 240 favorite on the money line there, nothing too close. So I did pull the Buffalo Sabres are headed to Montreal tonight. Canadians a plus 125 home favorite. Over under at 6.5 with the over favorited at the minus 120. Did anyone have an ace? I don't know. Did you send any NHL plays yet? Did any of us have any NHL plays officially locked in?
No, I didn't send mine yet. I mean, not too high on this one. In that tonight, I was looking at the starters a little bit earlier. They got Montebaugh going against UPL. UPL's been pretty good, but that whole Sabres goalie room's kind of been up in the air throughout the season. The Sabres just not playing as well as I think they should be coming into the year. I kind of lean the over here. That's probably my favorite play in this game. But the Habs at home getting plus money is never a bad look. I think they do end a way to get this done. I could see a 4-3 score.
That's
kind of like the
Blackhawks. I like
tonight.
You like the Blackhawks?
Okay, so I don't want to say I like the Blackhawks.
I like Bedard, but I don't like the Blackhawks.
I like the value in the plus 200 against a struggling Flyers team. They have all the shit going on with Carter Hart as well. They haven't been playing well ever since all that came down. Blackhawks got to get a win somewhere.
Bedard's been hot since he came back.
Yeah,
with the bubble
he's been
too.
hot. You could see a 3-point performance. You could see a nice home win for them tonight in a plus 200 spot. I mean, the value's there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something to check out too. I mean, a lot of people that I know have been successful with their shot bets, their point bets, and I think you can do that with Connor Bedard tonight. He's been coming out on fire. Got to make up for those stats that he missed at that good chunk of the season with the broken jaw or whatever it was. He's going to stay hot. I'd take him to get a point more than anything, especially with Samuel Ersson going for the Flyers. But I don't lean the Blackhawks to win. But at home, Wednesday night on TNT, 7:30, it's a Blackhawks move.
That's a tough matchup with Soderblom and net at 2-16 on the year. I love the Blackhawks.
I like a high scoring game there as well. A lot of high scoring games on the slate tonight. My favorite play comes down to the Leafs, honestly. Obviously my Bruins playing too. I always take them in some fashion.
You love the Bruins tonight though? Lost 4 of the last 5.
I love them
all the way to Edmonton tonight.
Yeah, I mean not too much, but I like our goaltending. I like our goaltending a lot more than theirs. I think we are able to put up some good numbers. I think we exposed Skinner a little bit, especially if we get on the power play too. But it'll be a tight one. Good line for the Bruins. You don't see them at plus money very often, though. And every time they are, they
I was just gonna say I see the plus ones. I don't know. I feel like that's pretty respectable. If you take the Bruins, and I know that's probably the furthest that them, Vancouver, any of those Western Canada teams is. I mean, this is big of a road trip as you can get. Like Mackie said, losing 4 of the last 5. They're definitely on a cold week here. This is a matchup where they go in and win this game. It kind of turns them around the past couple of weeks or post All-Star break. I mean, they're like you said, they're one of the elite teams. They're one of the best teams in the Atlantic Division, a tough division. This is one where the Oilers also kind of want this game. It's going to be tough. The Oilers, I think, are a minus 140, minus 135 favorite. But I don't know. The over under 6.5. This is one where I kind of lean it to be a little bit more of a defensive game. I think you keep it close to the best.
I think I see a 3 or 4-1 Bruins win tonight, honestly. And like you're talking about losing 4 of their last 5, won their last one, albeit in a shootout. But the thing is, they've lost the other games in overtime. I think 2 or 3 of them.
You guys have 11 overtime and shootout losses this year. If you just bet the Bruins to go to overtime every single game, I think you'd be up a shit ton of money this year. I'm not even kidding.
Especially their last matchup. I think it was the last like 5 or 6 times they came to Boston. The game went to overtime. I think that was with the Kings actually, and the Bruins went.
I was gonna say you guys did blow that game against the Kings on Saturday though. I was watching that one.
What is like blow the puck line there? That's what I had definitely, but I took them live again.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was against.
Well, didn't the Kings win in overtime?
Yeah, that was the Kings one.
The Kings won in overtime.
Yeah, I took them both nights. The Stars bailing me out. The next beating the Stars, but that Kings one was tough too. On the power play too in overtime, just coming out with a short, or not really a shorty, but even strength. Guy gets a breakaway, first career goal. You hate to see it, but I think it's a good bounce back spot tonight. I really do. I like the plus money on the Bruins too. You don't see that often, so I'm definitely taking that money line. I think Allmark has a
Absolutely.
bounce back performance.
Yeah, and then we kind of went through that game. The other 10 o'clock game that we're going to dive into here, Maple Leafs at Coyotes. Austin Matthews, everyone loves to always point out the stats when he plays the Coyotes. Coyotes love to pick up wins against this Leafs team. Coyotes coming to this a plus 150 underdog. Leafs minus 182 on the road, plus 130 for the minus 1.5. Over under, same thing, 6.5. Ace, you said you have a favorite play on this one. Let's hear it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've been riding these Maple Leafs for a while now on the puck line too. Every night you're getting plus money on the puck line. Locked this in last night, honestly, minus 1.5. Also locked in the Bruins on that money line and a -1 at like plus 200. But this play definitely my favorite. They had a 9-1 win recently too. Firing on all cylinders. I stuck with Ilya Samsonov in fantasy too, and he's come back. Not playing great hockey, still a sub 900 save percentage, but won 6 of his last 7 starts. So good to see him playing well again. Austin Matthews, hat trick machine. I think he's going to break that record this year too. So they're going to put up crooked numbers, especially against a Coyotes team that's on a 10-game losing streak. I mean, monumental, playing against one of the best teams in the league that's surging right now. Give me the Leafs on the puck line here.
Yeah, you can almost bet Austin Matthews to have a hat trick at probably like plus 210. It's crazy. He's lighting it up right now, and you expect him to just keep it going this game against. I mean, Coyotes are having a pretty decent season, but with a line like that up in Toronto, I mean,
10-game losing streak too. Like,
are they on a 10-game losing streak? I didn't even see that.
Yeah, they've been terrible.
Oh yeah, you expect Toronto to definitely light it up then. See a high scoring game.
I gotta stick with my classic comment. You gotta bet with the streak because then you only miss it once, right?
Right,
you can ride it as long as
I
it
say
goes.
the same thing.
It's a good thing to do. I'm gonna stick with it tonight. Hopefully they can cover
Am I crazy, or is there has to be over 3 years with the Coyotes record against the Maple Leafs? They beat them.
Huff loves the Yotes.
Nah.
I think you hit it at like what, a plus like 300.
It was like plus 3. It was like plus 3. I remember hitting this last year. It was like plus 300, and I was like, Coyotes are gonna win this game.
I feel like 365, maybe even 4 something.
50
like,
here is not worth it in my opinion. With, like you said, how cold the Coyotes are and how hot Toronto's been of late. I can't lay the plus 150 there. I definitely lean Toronto.
If you see the Coyotes win this game, it's got to go over, right? It's going to be on replay by their goaltending.
Yeah, like 5-4, 5-3, somehow win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then obviously the last game, Blue Jackets, Anaheim. Nothing really too excited there. You probably couldn't pay me to watch that game.
I don't even.
No, I'm telling you, get a Bedard point tonight and a Matthews point. You parlay those. That's not a bad
Matthews
play.
goal.
Go with a Matthews goal and a Bedard goal and get some really good value, Mackie.
Yeah, I mean, Matthews has like 10 assists this season. He's got like 60 goals just at the goal.
What is Matthews' lines usually set at for the anytime goal scorer?
Oh, I have no idea.
I feel like they're around
minus 150.
Yeah, minus 190 almost. Probably that tonight. Maybe higher.
That's crazy.
Let's try to find it. I'm going to look for it.
Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, Mackie looked at it. It's pretty fucking, because I was thinking like, I'm trying to like Sid the past couple. He's been scoring a lot. I've been looking at his numbers. He's been like plus 120, 120.
If he's plus 120, then
no. Matthews scores way more than him though. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Matthews is definitely more expected.
He's minus 135 tonight.
That's a fire line. Imagine I'm parlaying it with Bedard too. I just want to see where that sits. Matthews 134.
Well.
Bedard. What do you think Bedard's in that? Probably plus 110. Plus 160.
I was gonna say I'd probably just take Bedard straight. Yeah, I'd take Bedard straight.
Parlay him plus 355 though. Put a nice light unit on.
Yo, can you imagine losing a plus 160 because you added a minus 140?
Yeah, you probably take them both straight and then go light on the parlay. I feel like you're not missing out too much there.
Yeah,
it's a good way to do it. I like doing long shot parlays more so in the NHL than I do in the NFL. Like I'll do a few different shot props or a few different points. I usually do points rather than goals, especially guys that are on PP1. But yeah, you can hit long shots pretty easily doing that, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of nothing really else much to go through. Like I said, no NBA. NBA comes back tomorrow. So next week we'll be diving into a little more of these NBA matchups. We have a full slate of NBA tomorrow. Excited for that to come back. A lot of news coming from the All-Star weekend. People weren't too happy about that. MLB season right around the corner. So in the coming weeks, we'll definitely be diving into the 4 major sports. Yeah, I'm hyped for the MLB. This is definitely
we'll get some live stream MLB talk. Spring spring training heating up. It's actually probably the second best preseason, maybe arguably the best. I think NFL is maybe the best, but MLB second best preseason.
Tomorrow the games start.
Yeah, and
spring
like
training.
Yeah, pitchers and catchers have been down there for a while now. Like, it's been heating up. There's still some moves that are going to happen too, so we got to get you updated on that. I saw Ohtani rip a bomb the other day. That was pretty cool. His first live MVP session. I don't know if you guys saw a scar pretty gnarly on that arm, but eager to talk about that in our podcast tonight. Eager to talk about it in the podcast tonight. We'll get that coming here in a few weeks, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, MLB opening day coming up in the coming weeks. Other than that, I think that's basically it. Mackie at Ace, do you guys have anything else you want to go to?
No, take those chances in the NHL. A lot of good value. You can hunt value in the NHL. Ride these guys in the NCAA basketball.
Jesse,
they rock with it.
Jesse just sent me the stat. Head-to-head matchup since I don't know how recent this is. It's a screenshot that he zoomed in on. Looks like it's from 2011, maybe. Yeah, 2011. Coyotes are 14-6 against Toronto.
Oh my God, bro! And look at the -190 line tonight. I mean, Coyotes are on a 10-game losing streak. Leafs are on a 4-game winning streak.
-250.
Yeah, I don't care if it's away. You think it'd be -250, -260? Sketchy.
Interesting. Since 2011, confirmed. Yeah. So that's like the pre-odds. I mean, that's also when the Coyotes were fucking terrible.
Huff, when you brought up that stat, it made me so nervous too because I locked this in last night, not even thinking about it. And
Didn't even think about it.
I literally remember you betting that last year, and we were like,
as soon as I saw it on the slate today, I was like, "Oh, this is one of the games you're talking about."
I just saw a 10-game losing streak, and I was like, "eh."
But yeah, your bet, like you said, bet with the streak because if you try to call this game and I mean, Toronto could win this game 6-1. I would not be surprised.
But would I be surprised if they lose? No, that's great. But I'm still confident in it. Play of the night.
No, that's great. All right, yeah, that's all I got. So we'll get the official plays going out on social media here coming up shortly. Like I said, NHL games. I think that Sabres game is the only one that starts at 7, Flyers at 7:30, and then the rest are 10 o'clock games. So we'll get the college basketball plays out, NHL plays out if we got any. Other than that, thanks for listening. Make sure you tune into the podcast tomorrow. Going to dive into, like I said, a lot of NBA, NHL, NBA coming back, all that good stuff. So other than that, not going to want to miss it. We'll see you guys Saturday or Sunday for another version of our college basketball live stream that we tried to kick off last week on Saturday. Had to get that moved to Sunday. Going to be moving those around. Cheers. Stay tuned to the social medias so you know when we're going to be going live, where you can find us and all that good stuff. So thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week. And like I said, make sure you're tuning into the podcast tomorrow.